All right, I'll go a little bit broader, and it's a topic that we talked about. I can't remember, maybe a couple episodes ago, but it surrounds Dabo Swinney, college football, and where we're at right now in college football. A lot has been made about the changes in college football, and some people's perceived um, that Dabo Swinney has not adapted to a lot of those changes. He doesn't like a lot of those changes, and that he may call it quits. So Dabo Swinney will be the head coach at Clemson 5 years from now.
I want to say BYOG. I'm a buy. I'm a buy it because I do think that eventually, we're going to have some sort of structure to this. We're going to have a structure to the state of the sport right now, and whether it's a revenue sharing model or what have it, or we have a standardized um, sort of mechanism for player movement. Whatever the sport looks like in 5 years, I do think it'll be in a much less chaotic state than it is right now. Um, I'm going to say BYOG. Dabo is only what, 52,
Yeah,
53. And so I mean, he's got a lot left in him, I think, and I do think that that narrative about him, eventually calling it quits is solely drummed up from you know the fan and media side of things. I mean, nothing he said in the past um, has indicated that he has intentions of calling it quits anytime soon. So um, yeah, I'm gonna say BYOG, and I don't think Clemson will ever get to the point where they have to let him go. Um, never say never. Obviously, anything can happen, but I don't see that. I do think Clemson a has had a level of success, and they have a standard. And as long as Dabo is the coach, I don't think they're going to fall, too far below that where it's like we got to consider a coaching change. So those two scenarios thrown out the window. I can't see any other reason why he wouldn't be the head coach in 5 years.
I agree. I'll go buy on that BYOG for sure. I think if Dabo Swinney is not the coach at Clemson in 5 years, it will be because he chose to step away. That this was no longer something that he wanted to do. The people out there with the you know fire Dabo brigade, albeit a small group of individuals, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Uh, got too much cachet, has too much good favor at Clemson for that to even be broached in any sort of conversation at this point in time. Right now, as we stand. Now, in the future, who knows what happens? But I'll go by on that for a lot of the reasons that you said. The structure that is eventually going to come to college football, it is not going to continue to be the wild, wild west. There will be some sort of structure that eventually happens. Albeit it might be a long road to get there, but I think eventually you're right, Jordan. We will get there, and we'll get some semblance of structure and rules and knowing what is acceptable and what is not acceptable with a lot of these new things that kind of have just been thrown into college football with no left and right limits, and it has caused a lot of chaos in the sport. You see numerous head coaches stepping down, albeit whether it be it to go to the NFL or take a coordinator position or take a lesser job. Like you've seen the movement, you've seen people that don't like where college football is right now. So obviously, I think it's going to get to a better place, a more manageable place for these staffs. So um, let's hope that continues.